Mr. William Ruto's administration has entrenched corruption as a way of life, and it remains systematic, pervasive, and deeply rooted in public service delivery and high-level governance. Mr. William Ruto's Western Hotel has been the leading recipient of government hospitality and catering tenders, securing 37 public contracts valued at hundreds of millions for the period ending June 2026. Contracts have come from state corporations, state departments, and county assemblies. It is clear that William Ruto is in competition with local entrepreneurs, where he flexes his executive powers and gives priority registration that enriches himself and his cronies at the expense of other hardworking Kenyans. I want to bring to the attention of the people of Kenya some of the biggest scandals that we have witnessed in the last 4 years. In the current financial year, State House budget has grown from Kenya shillings 8 billion to 18 billion Kenya shillings, an increment of over 10 billion Kenya shillings. These are the funds that are used to bribe the people of Kenya. And lately, sheikhs, private security officers, village elders, teachers, chiefs, etc. Under the e-Citizen, a special audit report by the Office of the Auditor General exposed major financial and governance weaknesses, noting that over Kenya shillings 11 billion in collections lacking clear documentation or routed through non-designated accounts alongside irregular payments to private entities. The functionless chief system was procured at a cost of 104 billion Kenya shillings, and an independent assessment of this system shows that it is worth 800 million, leaving theft and plunder of public resources of 103 billion Kenya shillings. SHA makes a loss of 6 billion shillings a month. Hospitals and faith-based organizations and counties are owed 105 billion to date. As I've said before, SHA is insolvent and everybody knows it. On the affordable housing program, the Office of the Auditor General reports that have flagged major legal and operational risks regarding fund utilization, including untraceable international development loans, low fund absorption, and missing land ownership documentation for ongoing projects. Further, the levies deducted from Kenyan payslips are invested in a third-party financial service firm licensed by the Capital Markets Authority. How are their fees determined? How much has been paid out to date? What is his association with William Ruto? On the restoration of Nairobi rivers, Mr. William told Kenyans that on December 25, that Nairobi River will have fish. Can members of the press visit this river tomorrow and bring us one piece of fish? This government committed itself to protecting public assets, strengthening governance, eliminating corruption, and ensuring that public resources would be managed solely in the interests of the people of Kenya. It promised a government founded on transparency, accountability, and prudent stewardship of national resources. On the divestiture of the Kenya pipeline, has Kenya surrendered its ownership and control to a neighboring country? What was the rationale of forcing Kenyan state corporations to invest public funds in a public entity? Who is the mysterious lead transaction advisor, stroke investment banker that was the face of the IPO? How did he acquire his Kenyan citizenship, and whose interest does he represent? Mr. William Ruto and Senator Entrenched must come clear on their relationship with this mysterious dual citizen investment banker. On the sale of government's equity stake in Safaricom to Vodacom, at 204 billion Kenya shillings, it was a ripoff. Each share was grossly undervalued at 34 Kenya shillings. Why didn't William Ruto allow the use of an open price discovery, or even better, allow a regulated cooperative and SACCO fraternity with over 1 trillion in deposits at the end of December 2025 buy out this stake? Aren't the cooperative society members hardworking, deserving Kenyans? What happened to Buy Kenya, Build Kenya? Or is it Buy Kenya, Build Ruto? Other national assets, such as the new KCC, Kenya Ports Authority, and Kenya Airways have been strategically targeted for sale. what is the rationale of selling our heritage? Hard-working Kenyans remit over 100 billion Kenya shillings monthly to the National Social Security Fund, NSSF. These funds now have been targeted for budgeted corruption and ring-fenced to fund infrastructural development projects, such as the Mau Summit Road, Twin Towers Commercial Building, and the Bombers of Kenya International Conference Center. Is this really prudent? Are our pensioner funds safe? What is the role of the mysterious dual citizen investment banker in structuring the fund management contracts issued by NSSF? The Communication Authority of Kenya, Universal Service Fund, has recently approved the transfer of 45 billion Kenya shillings to the National Intelligence Service, allegedly for the procurement of an ICT system whose market value is only 2.5 billion. This approval was given by the then chairperson of the Communications Authority in the hope that her business loan would be repaid from the proceeds. As explained earlier, China Road and Bridge Company, CRBC from China, is the major conveyor of corruption in Kenya and is the recipient of projects worth 1.2 trillion, namely the Naivasha, Malaba, SGR, Mombasa SGR, JKI modernization projects, Talanta Stadium, Southern Bypass, Eastern Bypass, Western Bypass, Makuba Bridge, and Bombers of Kenya, among others. Patriotic Kenyans, over the last 4 years, Mr. William Ruto has systematically eroded the values, principles, and institutional structures of Kenya's public service that was built to ensure an efficient, ethical, and representative government workforce. Today, the public service is demotivated and has taken a back seat, as William Ruto single-handedly runs the operations of government without any professional input from our dedicated civil servants. No wonder government programs are launched and they are after repackaged for another launch. Dear Kenyans, the Church of Christ has been a major casualty of William Ruto's deception. On 5th May 2022, he executed a charter between the churches and the Kenya Kwanza Coalition. He committed that his administration would protect the freedom of worship in Kenya and respect the church as a societal partner